Hello, long time no chat. This is kind of an impromptu video, so I apologize for my new desk setup not being quite complete. Obviously, it's a little boring right now, but that's okay because that's not the focus. The focus right now is I wanted to talk about my new toy, my new acquisition, my new daily driver, my new media creation machine. I need to pay for it, so here I am making video about it. See, it's funny because I don't monetize my channel, so I don't make money from it. Haha. I'm not funny. Anyway, sorry, I'm a little awkward. It's been a while since I've been on camera, so bear with me while I stammer through this. The M1 Macs have always been a fascinating, interesting topic to me. They're just being an ARM chip that's mainstream, that's very powerful, and a lot of times is better than its contemporaries. It's just a really cool, interesting, tantalizing talking piece. And it's something that I've always wanted to play with, and I have the opportunity to talk about my new M1 Max MacBook Pro. It is the 16-inch with 64 gigs of RAM. Mostly because I needed to compensate for something. No, I haven't had a good laptop in years and years and years. So when it came time to like, hey, I really could use another laptop again. If I'm going to get one, I'm going to get one that will last me for forever, or at least in multiple years into the future for my current workloads that I do on my tower down there. Because it's convenient. It's nice to be able to sit on the couch and like still do what I want to do, and it's also nice to be able to pack it all up and put it in my backpack and bring it with me and work on it somewhere. Like I can pack this whole thing up and bring it to work, and I can work on scripts. I can edit video, like whenever I'm going over to see family. I can kind of sneak away for an hour while like everyone's like, I don't know, like while my kid's taking his nap or whatever, and do some work. And it's actually pretty amazing, the sheer power on tap with this thing. I haven't done any serious video editing. This will be the first video that I've edited on it, but I have loaded up the last project that I did, which is the Halo video, which you can find here, I think, whatever. So that video is also an interesting thing because I edited that on an M1 Air that I was borrowing from a friend that I've since given back, and that's the main reason why I ended up with this thing is because that thing was so damn good. He had upgraded to a Pro and just kind of had it around as like his whatever machine. So he's like, "Yeah, I don't really use it for anything. Do you want to fuck with it?" So I was like, "Absolutely, let's go." So yeah, within like 2 days of touching that thing, it was like, this is going to be very expensive for me because I'm gonna need to do this, aren't I? And well, here I am. So the entirety of the Halo Infinite video was edited on that M1, except for the very tail end, which I got the Hackintosh working on my main tower right there at the end, and used it for like finishing up like some of the titles and transitions and like the last mile stuff, not anything like serious, because the MacBook Air was running out of SSD room, and all I had on it was Final Cut and Motion and the project, obviously, and like a few other things here and there. Like I had put the Battle.net launcher on there at one point because I was testing games on it. I had Steam on there at one point because I was testing games on that. But the 95% of the SSD was just dedicated to one project, and at the tail end of it, as it started to grow and grow, I actually had to start editing off that external hard drive, which I don't even know if you can see or not, but so that was kind of bad, having to be docked and just like ugh. And like it became a pain in the ass because like the videos wouldn't stream in correctly and it wasn't portable anymore, and it was a whole thing. So really happy that I went with the larger storage on this one. But on the M1, on the MacBook Air, I was editing 4K 60 footage, and it's completely rock solid, stable 60. No mess, no fuss, no whatever. And that was on the M1 Air. So I'm really, really, really excited to see how this one plays out. I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to tap it out and go like crazy with it. I might have to start figuring out like 5K workflows. That would be kind of fun, doing everything in 5K. But I have no idea how I would pull that off. So that would require some thinking. But yeah, as I'm sure you can tell from the stupid grin on my face, like this thing is just an absolute chore. I'm sorry, not a chore. This thing is the opposite of a chore. This thing is an absolute dream to work on and edit on. It is just so much fun. Like being able to just throw disgusting amounts of power at your solution or power at your problem to get a solution. God, I can't even talk anymore. That's how long. That's A, how long it's been, and B, that's just how much this laptop excites me. Yeah, so on the video editing side and all of the stuff related around my content creation that I do for YouTube, I'm very excited to see how it fits in. I'm actually recording this video directly off my camera into the MacBook right now. A little cable right here. As I bump it and it accidentally cuts the video feed. The media encode engine on this thing is actually disgustingly insane. I was playing Factorio on this, and I am recording some footage, mostly just as a test, just to see. And I was recording at something stupid. Like I think I was actually recording at 4K, and I was recording at like 70 megabits per second, doing a display capture, and was using the encode engine, and like the video looks pristine, barely any CPU load because it's using the dedicated hardware encode. So it's just it's disgustingly good for creative workflows like that. Haven't had any issues with Infinity Photo. I've actually been dabbling in a personal project that's work focused. There is a specific thing that I, as a pet project, was like, you know what, I think I can make this better. So I'm working on an app to kind of work on that. And it's mostly for my sake. Just because I'm a fucking nerd and I like to know how to do things. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to make an app. That can't be that hard, right? So I have Android Studio loaded on this. And it's really cool having like the simulators running, iOS simulators. I've tried with Xcode as well, because I was messing with Flutter for a while there, but now I'm doing everything in Android Studio, and having the simulators running on that is it's a joy. I don't ever have to worry about performance. It just operates exactly like it would. I do also have my Pixel 3a, which I don't have currently because I'm bad at video making, so much for having it as a prop. But I do have that I will also deploy the app on and test, but I also have a simulator of a Pixel 3a, and I can flip between the two, and there's just no performance penalty. And it's really funny how much faster the app compiles on this compared to my desktop. Because like the compilation, like it's right now it's only UI. There's no code in it whatsoever. So on the desktop it takes like 15 seconds to compile, 12 seconds to compile. Not a big deal at all. But then I load it up on here, and sometimes it takes like 2. My favorite is when it takes like 800 milliseconds, which is just like, okay, sure, why not? And that just shows how crazy the power is. I'm not like a crazy software developer. I dabble. It's a hobby. So I can't really, like, I might mess around with like compiling something like massive like Chrome, or compiling the Unreal Engine. That would be fun, actually. That would be a bastard of a project. That would be kind of fun to compile. So I might do that. We'll see about that one. Let's hold on to that idea. So as far as my personal creative workflows, like, the thing has been fantastic. Battery life is simultaneously exactly what it's hyped up to be, and simultaneously not what it's hyped up to be. I've noticed that when I actually put this thing in work, it does kind of drain the battery. Like, since I've sat down and started messing with this video and looking around and doing video feeds, and I've got this live recording going, I think I've lost like 15%. So I'm down to a little bit over 15%. I'm down to 35% right now, and I was at about 53, I think, when I started. So if I look at stats right now, it's telling me that I've got about an hour and 31 minutes until it's completely dead from the current workflow that's going on. And things like the simulators, they will take a huge chunk out of your battery. Looking forward to editing Final Cut on battery to see how that goes, because Final Cut's a weird program. Now, if I'm not doing anything intensive like that, if I'm not playing games, if I'm not doing OBS, if I'm not like doing simulators and stuff, battery life is fantastic. Like, it's really easy to hit that 10-hour mark without even trying. My favorite thing about this is that whenever I close the lid and I open it back up, it's at exactly the same battery level as it was when I put it away. And that could be hours and hours and hours ago. That could be the next day. That's awesome. That's really cool to see, because I'm used to just laptops in general, like, or even like my phone. Like, I can't even trust my phone to do that. So it's really cool. The turbo fast charging with the MagSafe adapter is disgustingly good. In fact, it's so good that like I kind of don't like using it, just because I don't want to put that extra wear and tear on the battery unless I like have to. So I've been using the USB-C to charge a little bit, and I also have the 35 watt or whatever it is charger charger from the MacBook Air that I've been using as well. People are saying that the batteries on these things are smart enough to kind of detect when you're using them in a dock configuration, like something that's just permanently docked, and it will like not charge the battery and just run exclusively off wall power. I guess that's not happening for me because I do use it on battery quite a bit, but I don't know, maybe time will tell. And maybe it's just a matter of whenever I'm putting it on the charger, I'm only putting it on the charger when I'm like where I am right now, 35% or lower. It's not like I'm putting it on the charger when it's like, oh, I got 96%. All right, time to dock in. Let's do some work. Typically, whenever I plug in, it's because it's, been a day or two. So it's also kind of fascinating from like a technology front, how much worse some things are on macOS. But how much better things are in macOS. I could do a whole video on just macOS. In fact, I might actually even do that. But as far as like the hardware is concerned, there is a lot of horsepower here, but I feel like some of it's very weirdly constrained. Like Metal, for example, the graphics API is pretty crap. And this is something that was affecting me on the Hackintosh too. And that's one reason why I was so glad to get this, was so I could compare the Hackintosh performance, because I thought like my 6900 XT was like broken. Like it was that bad. Like I was trying to play Diablo 3 and getting like 20 frames a second. And I'm like this can't be right. And turns out, no, it's just Metal sucks that much. It's very inefficient, and I don't know if it's just developers just don't know how to use it properly, because like it's way too overcomplicated, or if it just doesn't have the features. Apple has announced Metal 3, and we've got some stuff like Resident Evil 8's coming. I'm definitely going to be picking that up because I like Resident Evil, and I would like to see more Resident Evil games. Like I'd love to see Monster Hunter on this thing. I would absolutely buy Monster Hunter on this. And it's going to be really interesting to see, because this is like the first time in a long time that Apple's actually put their money where their mouth is, and almost like literally in this case, and helped port a game. And this is also with the advent of a brand new API to go with things. So who knows? Maybe Metal 3 will be the saving grace, as everyone seems to think it is. I'm a little bit more cynical, so we'll see, but I'm optimistic. Another thing that I really like that I didn't think I would is the heat generation and the fan noise. Doing all of this work, like right here, the fans just aren't on. In fact, actually, let me check and see. So they're running at about 28% right now, which is basically nothing. The laptop is hovering at around 55C on both the CPU and GPU, while I'm recording a 4K clip like this. Like, that's pretty good. And like that performance kind of holds whether I'm doing the Android and iOS simulators. It will kick in for games, especially whenever I have it plugged in. But that's just because, that's a load that's hitting both the CPU and GPU very heavily. But for the most part, like if I'm not doing games, I just don't hear the fan and I don't feel it. And a lot of times it's kind of unsettling having a computer that's completely dead silent and doing the disgusting power that it's doing. Yeah, it's a treat to behold in more than one way. So it's actually kind of nice, because I'm really looking forward to being able to dive into like sitting on the couch and like edit videos and to like actually be able to do it and like it be full speed, and I don't have to worry about putting an ice pack between my legs and the laptop. So yeah. That's basically it. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of talk about my shiny new toy. So I might do some more videos on this if you guys are interested in that. Little spoiler Easter egg thing that I forgot to mention. The microphone and speakers on this thing are really, really, really good. The speakers, these are the best laptop speakers I have ever heard in my life. I do have to clarify that with laptop speakers. Like I have a pair of Logitech Z310s or whatever the crap these things are, little cheap like $50 speakers that beat the pants off this, because it's a laptop and it's physics and bigger speakers and subwoofer. Like obviously it's gonna sound better. Like I will just listen to music off this. I'll watch videos on this like comfortably and it'd be like fine. Like this is like better than most like built-in TV speakers that I've heard, which is awesome. And the microphone is one of the things that's also surprisingly good. In fact, I've actually been recording this whole video on the built-in webcam. Yes, it does have issues at times. Yes, it's not quite as good as my dedicated mic, but I was meant to just have this as my backup audio, but then I realized that I don't actually have my mic set up yet, so I just said fuck it and just went for it and recorded the video. And I'm hoping it sounds okay. In my tests, it seemed like it did. In calls that I've done, it seems okay. It sounds really good for, especially for built-in webcam mics. Like they don't normally sound. The manufacturers will put like a bunch of like high pass filters on them, or low pass filters. They'll put a bunch of filters on them, and they'll do like a bunch of noise reduction, and they typically just sound like shit. And these do not, and it's fantastic. But yeah, that is about all I wanted to talk about here. This was never going to be anything in depth. This is just something that I just wanted to talk about just because it's so fucking cool. And I just wanted to share how fucking cool it is. So yeah, I might, like I said, I might do some more videos about this thing. If you guys are interested in that kind of stuff. I'm totally down to do benchmarks. I'm totally down to just talk about it. And yeah, it's going to be fun. Anyway, that has been it. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna finish setting up my desk. Put some interesting things. All right, I'm gonna stop wasting time. Bye.